The current financial situation with Ford Motor Company is in some aspects better and in other aspects a little bit worse. Recently, stock prices are at $9.43 per share, which is up from a couple days ago when I checked it, but it is down from earlier in this year when they were paying $11 and $15 per share. Although stock prices are down, the leaders at Ford are moving forward in their plans and being optimistic in what the future holds. They've hired a new CEO of the company, and in a press release of their October financials, the total number of vehicle sales was 192,616, which is down 3.9% from last year. The overall price, this is all the different aspects of Ford Motors, like rentals, cars, trucks, vans and SUVs, also fleet vehicles, is the average cost of one vehicle sold is $36,800. That's up $1,400 from last year. The SUVs, trucks, and vans year to date was 1,605,967, which is up 2.1% from October of 2017. So as I said, even though the stock prices are down, sales are still doing pretty well. The mission statement for Ford Motor Company is people working together as a lean global enterprise to make people's lives better through automotive and mobility leadership. Ford Motor Company relies heavily on customers. They want to make the customers They want to make the customer's experience working with Ford to be a positive one for, of course, the typical reasons of repeat customers and word of mouth. The objectives of Ford and the goals are the understanding of the mobility devices as human progress. Ford is helping people to access ways to experience our world, creating economic value in the communities, and tackling environmental and social challenges everywhere. Ford has some strategies put together by the team leaders. They're not only changing the product line, but they're also revamping office spaces and making the company able to communicate better in all parts of the country, since Ford is a worldwide company. And they have broken down their offices into different departments. And the departments now are able to communicate much better. Ford Motor Company has 12 board members. They all have a vast array of external experience in all different aspects of business. The ones I chose were for my 5 board members that interested me the most are William Clay Ford Jr. William is the executive chairman of Ford Motor Company. He joined the board in 1988, but he has worked for Ford since the 70s, actually. He's had many different positions while he's been at Ford. One of his notable events while being on the board, he was on the national bargaining team in 1985 for the United Auto labor worker talks. He was on the bargaining team to get the contract settled between Ford and the workers. Something I've known with all of the board members is they're very big into community and environment. Under the leadership of William, the company has started Ford Motor Company Fund and Community Services. The goals of the services is to help the community support education and improve safety through driving skills training. William has also started a Ford Volunteer Corp, which is the employees volunteering to go into the communities and help wherever needed. Jim Hackett, the new CEO that I mentioned earlier, he just started in May of 2017. He is the president and chief executive officer of the company. Prior to his employment at Ford, Mr. Hackett was the vice chairman of Steelcase. Many of you may know they're the global leader of office furniture industry. From 2014 and to 2015, Hackett is credited with guiding Steelcase to becoming a global leader. Some personal items I found interesting was that Mr. Hackett was the athletic director at the University of Michigan from October 2014 through March of 2016. And he is also an alumni of the U of M and played football. He received his bachelor's degree from the U of M. Another board member is Lynn Wojcicki. Lynn was elected to the board of directors in April of 2017. Lynn is on several committees for Ford Motor Company, including the Nominating and Governance Committee, Sustainability and Innovation Committee, and the Audit Committee. Lynn has had leadership roles with Microsoft and BEA Systems. She began her career as a construction team worker with Gulfstream Jets and offshore oil structures. Lynn has a bachelor's degree in product design from Stanford University, as well as a master's from Harvard. Edsel Ford, a cousin of William, he's been on the board since 1988. He's the owner and chairman of Pentastar Aviation. Edsel has had several executive positions throughout his life. He holds a Bachelor of Business Administration from Babson College and has completed the program for management development at Harvard. Ellen Merrim, the last board member, was also elected in 1988. She's an independent director and serves on several other committees at Ford. Ellen is currently the president of Barnett Group, an advisory firm. She's held high-level positions in Nabisco and Tropicana. She also has a bachelor's and a master's degree, bachelor's from Wesley College and a master's from Harvard. So as you can see, all of the directors have high-level educations and high-level positions. Maybe not at Ford, but at other companies. This is my SWOT analysis chart. It shows strengths of longevity in the market. They have knowledgeable managers. It's a very stable company in a stable market. Everybody always needs cars. They have a global presence, and the new CFO is set to take them far. The internal weaknesses are they have several product recalls, which no one likes to be involved in recalls. It's not only takes up our time, but also causes us to perhaps be without our vehicles for a day or two. Ford has issues finding investors, although, as I said in the financial portion of this presentation, they are in pretty good shape. They have been said to be slow to redesign products, so that is a factor where other car companies seem to take off running. They do have an opportunity to partnership with Volkswagen since they are trying to become an autonomous vehicle line. They have opportunities to grow in China and Europe, and they have opportunities to redesign the core of their business. As I stated, they've already started to do that. Some threats are other car manufacturers, wage costs, as unemployment rates minimum wage is always going up and unemployment costs always increasing. Exports and taxes on imports and other exports are always harmful to businesses doing business overseas. So in conclusion, I would just like to say, although Ford has had some rocky years, they still seem to be in financial health, in a good financial health. Their stock prices are still pretty good. Not great, but they're good. They have a lot of leaders, board members, even the other top-level managers have very strong backgrounds in aspects of business and running companies. With their new products and approaches, along with their new CFO, they should do pretty well. They still need to keep scanning the competition, making sure they're staying on top with all of the competitors, such as Chevy, Tesla, in their new autonomous line, and even Volkswagen, as they try to pair with them to help Volkswagen with their van line. I hope you've enjoyed this presentation. I did forget to add my references to this PowerPoint, but most of the information I got came from the Ford website itself. Thank you very much.